In addition to moving the cursor backward and forward by characters and up and down by lines, you can also move by words, sentences, and paragraphs. The keys W and B move the cursor forward a word, that's what the W stands for, or back a word, that's what the B is. You can also use E to move forward to the end of the current word, if you're in a word, or to the end of the next word if you're at the beginning of a word. So W will go to the beginning of the next word, whereas E will go to the end of the current word. The commands parenthesis, forward and back, the right parenthesis moves the cursor forward to the beginning of the next sentence. The left parenthesis moves the cursor backward to the beginning of the current sentence or to the beginning of the previous sentence. And likewise, the curly brace moves the cursor forward a paragraph or back a paragraph. A sentence is determined by VI using punctuation and space, whereas a paragraph is delimited by a line which is completely blank. And when I say completely blank, I mean that it can't contain any spaces or tabs. So if you have a document that contains paragraphs, but the blank lines between paragraphs actually contain white space, you can't see on the screen that the blank line between the paragraphs isn't really blank in VI's opinion. The only way to find that out is to go past it. So let me demonstrate these. We'll edit our Purloin letter file. So I'll type W to go forward a word. www. You can see that it goes past the end of the line when necessary. www. JJJJJ. Now here I'll demonstrate the difference between W, that goes forward to the beginning of the next word, and E, which goes to the end of the word. Then you can also use B to go back to the beginning of the current word or the previous word. I'll use a right parenthesis, which is to say Shift 0, to go forward to the end of the sentence. Parenthesis, parenthesis. Note that it is stopping after C dot, NO dot, ST dot. VI does not know that these don't actually mark the end of a sentence. It assumes that it does. So this next parenthesis takes us to the end of an actual sentence, and the next parenthesis does the same. So some of the things that VI considers sentences are actually sentences, and some of them aren't. Words, by the way, are delimited by white space and certain punctuation, not all punctuation. For example, if I do B from here, it says that the first word is the period. B, 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 and so on. K, K, W, 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 B, 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 B. It considers the comma a word. K, K, B, E, E, E. It considers the hyphen a word. One thing that it does not consider as delimiting a word, I'll insert an underscore to demonstrate that B, E, B, E. The underscore does not delimit a word. Basically, VI was originally written by programmers and is a programmer's editor, so it thinks that words that contain underscores are single words. But a word that contains a hyphen, like book closet, well, if this were a program rather than text, that would be book minus closet, and therefore book and closet would be considered two different words. Finally, I'll use a curly brace, a right curly brace, which is shift bracket, goes forward to the next paragraph, and the next paragraph, and the next paragraph. I'll use the left curly brace to go backward by paragraphs. Left brace, left brace, left brace. Right brace. Now in this case, I'm going to insert a space, escape. So in this case, now the line between Parisian police and we gave him a hearty welcome is not completely blank. It contains a space. If I type right curly brace, it skips right over it. Left curly brace skips right over it. So you need to be aware of those white spaces in your file. As with the other movement commands, these textual units can use a number in order to specify a multiple of the number of textual elements that you move. So for example, from here, I'll move down to one line with J. I can type W to move forward by words, or I can type 3W to move forward by 3 words. I can type 2 right parenthesis to move forward by 2 sentences, and in this case you see it skipped over the C dot. I can type 3 right curly brace in order to move forward by 3 paragraphs, or 3 left curly brace to move backward by 3 paragraphs. You can use these numeric prefixes or multipliers in an awful lot of VI commands.